What's up, comic book fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, we are back with another episode from Vampirella, the Strange and the Macabre. Our comic book subscribers have been asking us when will they see another Vampirella comic book or comic magazine, horror comic magazine, as these beautiful large comic books were known back in the late 1960s and the 1970s. And we've heard you guys. We were waiting. Excuse me. We were really waiting because I'm being a M.I.B. collector. I'm very, very what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Obsessed with making sure that even my comic books are in excellent condition. I will read my comic books. I buy these big, beautiful horror comic magazines to actually read them, because these are the books I grew up on when I was a kid back in the 1970s. And some of you guys know my story with the comic books and stuff. Others don't. So for my new subscribers, these big horror comic magazines were a integral part of my childhood growing up. My father would bring these big, beautiful comic magazines home, horror magazines, and these are the ones I really connected to. The artwork was stunning, beautiful, and I just fell in love with it. We're gonna crack this open and let you guys take a look inside. See, we open our comic books here, guys, and we're immediately met by a color drawing. These comic books were magazines were done in black and white for the most part. Beautifully done. You see, here's the picture of the comic book on the front cover here. James Warren. The Warren publications that did the Vampirella comic books in the late 1960s and the 1970s. To me, those were the best. Those were the best. And here you have contents here, and you got a ton of stories. The stories were finished stories. You didn't have to buy another copy to find out what happened to your favorite character from that particular story. Warren Comics and Publishing, 1975. And I'll flip through this. This, for me, a cup of coffee. I got some quiet time. I'll sit on my in my lazy boy on my couch when it's nice and quiet, and I would read these horror stories. It allows you to escape into another world. This is our Vampirella story here. The malignant morticians. If I'm pronouncing that right, guys. Guys, what do you think of our Vampirella horror comic magazine. Do you remember these big beautiful books? And for my comic book buffs out there and aficionados, do you recall these? The artwork, once again, the storytelling, all that was just simply superb. And surprisingly, this is a book from 1975, and it's fared very well condition-wise. It doesn't smell like 1975. But that's what we do here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I've been allowed and been blessed to be put in a situation where I can really go back now and collect a lot of my childhood memories, if you will. And that's a super cool thing for me. I mean, these were imprints on my mind that as I grew older, I never forgot about the good days, the good times that I had reading my comic, my horror comic magazines and comic books, things of that nature. Flip through some more for you. You can pause your video if you want to get some good reading in. And that's another thing I want to do. I enjoy opening these big books up for you. We want to take you into our world. We want you to kind of take that trip back in your mind, back to the days where everything was about fun. No hassles, no work. When being a kid was just that. It's being a kid and having fun. And that's what we want you to feel like when you're here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. We want you guys to be able to escape for a while, just for a while. We know reality is reality. But we want you guys to be able to escape just for a little bit. Here's our next Dracula story called Rainy Night in Georgia. And that's what I did when I was a kid. Saturday nights, find a comfortable place, like I said, in my parents' living room. Usually it was on the carpet on the living room floor with one of these big horror magazines, and I would literally lose myself. Or if, at night when I was a kid, my parents wanted me to go to bed, and I put the covers over my head and I had my little flashlight, and one of these horror magazines. We have more horror comic magazines and comic books on the way to the museum. Like I said, I am very picky and obsessive when it comes to the condition. Our good friends at Anthony's Comics, those guys are located in New Jersey. That's the only comic book store that I buy my comic books from. So it's not even based in my state. It's out of state, because they do such good work. They're all about the condition. You know what you're getting from those guys. And that's where my entire Vampirella collection of comic books come from, and my Eerie and Creepy and the rest of those magazines, comic magazines, come from. It's from Anthony's Comics, and he's got a eBay site as well, so you could check that out. And like I said, this is made for hours of reading, hours of escape when I was a kid. And this is before video games and tablets and cell phones and things of that nature. This was as a kid, our form of entertainment. The comic books played such a big role in our lives as kids growing up in the 1970s and even early 80s. You know, really before the video games seized control, I should say, of the youth. And this is falling. I'm gonna put it up here so you guys can get into hit see there. And like I said, the artists that worked on these comic books were fantastic. They did great work. Great work. And I'll spin to the back here for you. Like I said, the artwork was superb. Was absolutely superb. Guys, we have a big week planned for you guys. We have more G.I. Joe videos coming your way, more Mego videos, Wave 3 Mego videos coming your way. But we wanted to bring you, and we'll cut out right there, we wanted to bring you this beautiful Vampirella issue number 41, 1975, Vampirella. We haven't done one in a while. Popular demand demanded it. So we're back. And stay tuned for more strange and macabre ventures of Vampirella. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.